What's up? What's up? What's up? It's the MKP. It's the Giannis. It's the MKP. My game in the building. It's the MKP. We got a Leah in the building. Mr. Make It Happen. It's the MKP.
Hey y'all.
It's the MKP. All day long.
Hey y'all.
It's the MKP.
Hey y'all.
It's the MKP. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Men Ketchup Podcast, episode 92. What you gonna do now? With your host, Lofton, aka Mr. Hayes Adonis, and I got my co-host Rajim in the building.
Yeah, Mr. Make It Happen all day long. Let's go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Hey, it's just the two of us. We gonna make it if we try. It's just the two of us, but we gonna pod it out. You know what I'm saying? We here to do the thing, man. You know, Leah's out there corresponding. That's what she out there doing.
Yeah.
So she gonna go get some news for us. She doing her thing. We appreciate it. Hey man, let's go ahead and get this thing popping, man. How was your week been going?
Man, it's honestly, man, it's Tuesday and it feels like it's Friday, or it feels like it's been a long week already. A lot going on, mentally drained, but I'm here. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I had contractors out my house. I had solar panels installed like probably about 2-3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Finally passed the inspection.
Hey,
So now I gotta wait for the energy company to come and do their part.
all
And I'm
right.
probably another 3 weeks out
Jesus.
on power. But other than that, man,
Hey.
It's been another week, bro.
It's been raining, so it ain't like you've been missing some sun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's been raining like crazy out here. So yeah,
Damn
man.
light bill missing it.
I feel you, man. So yeah, my week's been legit too, man. Just out here working, preparing for another month. Everybody's going there and everywhere else, so just been working. But I do get a little break in the middle of the week, so kind of excited about that because me and the wife, man, we about to go see Missy Elliott. Get your freak on. We about to go check that out tomorrow. So I'm kind of excited about that. Get to take a little hiatus during the middle of the week. Go see Missy, Busta Rhymes, and Sierra. So it's gonna be legit. So we're gonna go check them out. Should be a good time. So I have the report back next week with everything that went on with that. I mean, of course, in the news, it's been a crazy week. You know what I'm saying? So it's just been wild. But if you out here, you know what I'm saying, about to go to a concert or something and turn up, or it's just been a long week and you feel like you already been at work for a month and it's only been 2 days. You know what I'm saying? One thing that can help you out on positive and negative is a drink of the day. You always gotta have a drink of the day. The drink of the day come through. Drink of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So talk to me, man. How you gonna prep your week up a little bit with the drink of the day? What you got today?
I'm getting my wide earth on. I'm not a big fan of bourbon,
Okay.
right? But I froze some of my metal ice cubes, man. And my last gathering, somebody had left this major bottle of Bullet bourbon.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you took in the Bullet. All right.
I'm about to take a bullet, some of this Frontier whiskey. I'm about to take one to the head because it's been. I'm about to get my wide earth on. You know what I'm saying? I'll be a Huckleberry. So
there was a joke there, but I was gonna I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave the jokes alone on that one. I mean, you can put it together with, what I'm saying, drinking the Bullet. You said it about to, I mean, you don't want could cause some ear damage. So we don't want, what I'm saying, any of that type of stuff popping off. But what I'm saying, you got bourbon, man. Hey, feeling it. That would be that's that type of week. If you something like you don't even like bourbon and you say this a bourbon week.
Bourbon week.
That's
different.
Bro.
It's Tuesday and it's already a bourbon week. So
it's like I feel you on that. So I'm trying to relax a little bit. I had some leftover sangria in the refrigerator. So I went ahead and threw sangria in, you know what I'm saying? I threw a little I had some strawberry lemonade margarita. So Didn't fill the cup all the way up because I got the red. So I went ahead and threw some strawberry margarita on top of that just to fill the cup up. You know what I'm saying? So it's all fruity, it's
Okay.
all mixed up in there together. So I just made that happen and made it work. So hey, cheers up to everybody out there for a better
Yeah.
week, for improved week, or just keep enjoying your week. You know what I'm saying? Drink it a day. Make sure you hit that up. Also, you know what I'm saying? We got to pay the bills, or we got to make sure that y'all gonna help us pay these bills. Y'all gotta make sure that y'all out there subscribe, hit the bell, friend, follow. We on all streaming platforms at Mid Ketchup, plus on YouTube. We got TV faces, not radio faces. So come check us out. You know what I'm saying? We doing our thing. Make sure you rate us too. Give us all them stars. If you give us 4 stars, you a buster. You know what I'm saying? We need 5. You know what I'm saying? So do what you do. Make sure you pass that out, share it out. Don't be stingy. And you know what I'm saying? Rep us. You know what I'm saying? MKP up in this mug, doing what we gotta do. But we've had a lot of news. It's been a newsful week. There's been a lot going on. Last week we talked about, you know what I'm saying, the Trump stuff. We talked about Biden talking about he may drop or they wanted him to drop, but he dropped and it wasn't an album. You know what I'm saying? He dropped straight out this joint. And we got a new album by the VP. The VP dropped in, doing what we do. So we got the VP, Miss Harris, is in the building, and it looks like she already got nominated. All that stuff, check the boxes. All the checks have been in there. You got all the black women like, we got you. I've seen nothing but freaking Facebook messages and all type of other stuff saying, hey, we got your back. You know what I'm saying? Miss Harris out here about to do her thing. So, question for you, man. What do you think with this change from Biden? Because we didn't know who they may go with. It was kind of up in the air. So going from Biden to the VP, how you feel? Have you felt a change in the atmosphere? Like, what do you think is going to take place with this new change of the VP coming in to run for president?
So I'm all for it, first of all, and not because, and I tell people this all the time. I gotta tell people, especially people that don't know me or whatever, I don't vote for somebody because of their color. I don't vote for somebody, just because they're black or whatever. Jesse Jackson ran. I would never voted for Jesse Jackson.
Or Al Sharpton.
Al Sharpton,
no vote.
and you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of cats that ran that were black that I just but I think this country is time for a change. I think that people are going to use this for their racial motivation to be, to be racist, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I've seen it already. I watch on Facebook and people like, oh, she's this and she's that and blah, blah, blah. And I get it. There's diehard Republicans, there's diehard Democrats. But for me, I am looking into and I'm researching more about what she's done, what she can do for the country. I know who I'm not voting for, but you have to understand too that we as a culture, and let me say this, and I'm gonna say it right here. If you don't like what I'm saying, inbox me, whatever. Come to my house, holler at me, whatever. But I will say this, and this is how we do as a culture. We will be all in for a candidate, right?
For sure.
What up? What up? What up? We will be all in for a candidate. And then as soon as they don't do something that we think they're supposed to do in office, then all of a sudden we turn our backs on the candidate. People turn their back on Barack Obama. They're like, he's supposed to do this. First of all, the president is a puppet. And if you don't know how government is built, government is made, government is set up, if you don't know this, keep your opinions to yourself when you don't realize how much, I guess, influence the president has on things that we want done, and blah, blah, blah. Like, for example, for Barack Obama, there's so many things Barack wanted to do, but when you have a House and a Senate, and you have all these different people that are going against you, you basically swimming against tidal waves. You know what I'm saying? And when a lot of people don't understand you know, pull up. So a lot of people don't understand how government works. So they automatically think, well, the president should give us this, the president should do this. You know, if you're going to be, if you're gonna, first of all, if you're gonna complain, you need to vote. That's, you know, I've always said this no matter what. If you want to complain about stuff, and I'm a firm believer, if you're not trying to change something, I mean, if you're not trying to, if you can't complain about something you're not trying to change. Put it that way.
True.
So if you're not going out to vote, you're not registered to vote, don't come to me talking about, well, I don't want to hear it. If you didn't vote for somebody,
right,
whether you liked them or not, because guess what? There's people who hate Trump, but guess what? They're gonna vote for Trump because he's a Republican, and that's who they want in office. So they might not like Trump, they might not like who Trump is as a person, but they're gonna vote for him. So in that same way for us, it's like we have to go out, get out and vote. Even if you don't like the candidate or whatever, find somebody you do like. Find something about this election, because it's very important, that gonna help you ride through this, because you're not gonna like it when Trump get elected, right? And then you're gonna complain when you don't vote, so you can't have the cake and eat it too. We are, as an adults and as a culture, we get the raw end of the deal anyway. That's the bottom line. I mean, that's how this country we call America is made up. We, are far from being free. We're never going to be completely free. We'll talk about this next topic in a minute that proves that, but you cannot, if you cannot complain about something you're not trying to change. And that comes with getting out to the polls, and not just not the primaries. And you have to get out and vote for your locals. There's so many. Like it's only one person I dislike more than I like Trump, and that's DeSantis. I cannot stand. It's my top 3 people that I dislike the most is DeSantis, Trump, and Rick Scott. I'm saying their names or whatever. They ever see this podcast, whatever. But I'm just being real. And I don't like their views. I don't like the politics. I don't like their personal views. It's just so much about them I don't like. But like I said, like we just said, get out and vote. I know I'm going around. I'm beating around the bush on the. I will say something, but I want to. Talking about don't disrespect his government. So yeah, and like I said, there's so many laws put in place that people don't understand that we are not free forever. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're not free. We are not free forever. What is it? What document is that? It expires. we did some research on that, and we ain't free forever. Don't front. They might not put it back into play, but we ain't free forever. So make sure you realize what you're doing when you talk and when you go out and vote, because it could be an issue. My bad. I'm on my house.
All right. All right. That bourbon doing some work, man. So, well, I mean, I feel like at least for the running, I think it threw a wrench, especially with the change. I would probably say if this was the direction that I had this conversation with a couple of people. If this was the direction as of going with the VP that they chose from the giddy up, I think it may have been a little more difficult. I think it was a situation that may play in her favor, is that most people were like, what is she doing? Right. So you really don't have a good or bad perception of her, because most people were just like, I don't know what she's doing. She's just back there chilling, I guess. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be positive or negative on somebody that you really don't know what was going on, because there wasn't anything really bad that came out. There wasn't anything that was super positive that came out. She was back there. She was doing her job, staying out the way. That's what she did. So it threw a big wrench, because then there's less things to be able to throw daggers at in the on the opposite campaign. Because then if you don't have anything to throw daggers at, then you got to really reach. It also was a thing in debating wise. Instead of Trump in this situation being the stronger or mentally sound person on the stage. Now he has to debate a lawyer. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be a thing. So now it's
And
like
how do
now your debate
you-
game is gonna be like, ooh, this is gonna be tough. Because that was one of the first things I heard is, hey, don't want to really debate. So at least the debates could be a little more entertaining with more substance, with more like talking about the topics and things of that nature instead of talking about people's sorry ass golf game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so there's more things that I think can be interesting. You can find out stuff about it. I think it's actually beneficial for her coming in later. It's just who's going to be the VP for her. So that's going to be the thing. I think at this point, because of the last debate, more people are just like, can we have somebody that can put subjects, predicates, vowels, verbs, adjectives in sentences, make sense, read documents, not say nonsense, and roll down the road. Like we're really on that point right now. I feel we want to get to a place where, hey, let's not be in a place where we talk about the president all the time. That'd be great. That'd be nice. The president just do the job, and everybody else do the same thing. Well, I mean, there's ways. I guess there will be ways to do that, if but we have to see. So it'll be interesting. I think it's going to be at least a little more entertaining, and not in the negative way, so we can really get to the nuts and bolts of the situation. So congratulations. Glad that you are now running, and we got things to look forward to. So that's going to be a good situation going forward. Two candidates that are going to be pushing forward. Make sure you get out there and vote. Mint Ketchup, go vote. There you go.
Yeah,
Look,
go
there
vote.
you go. We don't going to do that. So go make sure y'all go vote. All right. So another thing that was quite interesting that I had saw on the wonderful screens out here as I peruse, like that word, peruse the web. That was a good one. So we had there was a video that had Brittany Grinder was being interviewed. I'm gonna see if I can let y'all if y'all can hear this. Let's see.
Hey, this is so funny. The irony of what I'm about to say is funny as shit. I'm gonna need you to take the D out of that girl name, because her name is not Grinder. Take the D out of her name. Wow, that's my bad. My bad. Irony.
That is I mean, if y'all are reading it, or did y'all hear that at all? I'm just wondering, did you hear that at all, Rajim? I don't know if you heard any of the audio that came through there, but
No, it didn't.
The interviewer asked, and if y'all are watching, y'all were able kind of to read it, but the interviewer asked her, how's it going to be a new mom? And she responded with, refer to me as Pops. So like in that situation, like as a father, Rajim, how do you feel about that situation? Like, how do you feel about, because I mean, you see that on the single mothers be on Father's Day, like, hey, wish me a happy Father's Day, blah, blah, blah. But this is not that situation. This is a situation of two people in a relationship, have a child, both female. And then you go like, all right, that would be mom and mom. But then if she gonna have her kid call her dad, then it's like, is she, I don't know. So Rajim, man, what do you think about this situation?
I think it's her prerogative. Honestly, if she want her kid to call her Pops, saying, I mean, it's her prerogative. I just feel like, we have to understand that we live in a new day and age. People my age and older, they don't believe in that. So they be like, oh, she ain't no damn man, blah, blah, blah. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But we live in a new day and age where you got the LBGQT, all that community stuff. You gotta, I mean, like I know Jody gonna have something to say, but to respect her, if she want her kid to call her Pops, but she has to also. So then there's a society issue, because then when her kid goes into society and be like, well, my mom's a dad, then, like me personally, I don't really, I had a full argument with somebody when they was trying to claim Father's Day. Well, I'm a single mom and I've been the father, blah, blah, blah. No, you've been the mother that's doing other duties. You've been the mother. You've been an awesome mother. You've probably been a super mom, but you haven't been the dad, and whether you take responsibility for, not the dad not being there or whatever. In a lot of these situations, the dad's not there because of the mom. So do you take responsibility because you got rid of the man in your life or whatever? Not saying that's always the case. Don't get me wrong. I know people gonna shoot bullets at me. But it's one of them things to where I was a single father for a while. Being a single father, being a single parent is not easy. And I feel like first of all, fathers, we don't really get nothing. You know what I'm saying? Father's Day come around, we might get some socks and a tie. Mother's Day coming around, there's dinners, there's trips planned and all kind of, and the lights go and blah, blah, blah. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I can care less. But when you got a young lady who identifies as a man and she wants her child, who is her child, to see her as dad, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's the fact that now her daughter has, or whoever the baby's gonna have a father and a mother. But it's confusing for the kid too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, go ahead.
I got a question. All right, so if she is, because you said identify as a man, why is she in the WNBA?
But she can't play in the NBA.
I'm just putting it. That's why I was like that. I feel like that was a weird. I don't know. It's just weird. I just
draft her to the NBA. That's pretty much how that works. If she could be in the NBA, I'm pretty sure she would go to the NBA. She didn't even have the chest. I seen a video with her out swimming, and people was like, "Oh, wait a minute, she got a whole man chest now. She don't have no breast, nothing." You know what I'm saying? But maybe it was a joke. I don't know. No. But it's not. I just think at this point in time in life, society probably need to mind their damn business. How about that? You know what I'm saying? It's we put too much. We got too much influence and opinions on other people's lives. Who gives a shit? That's not your mom or dad. Who cares? As long as if she play on the team that you like for the WNBA, she's doing good. As pops, shut the fuck up. Let her ride him. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
As pops, that'd be great. Put that on the back of the jersey, pops. That'd be great. Everybody call her pops from now on. But hey, like that's an interesting take. Like I understand, the building of the families and things like that. Like you said, it's very different right now on the labels. It's people. I feel like there's a big conundrum because we have a situation of people that don't want labels, but then want labels. I've always thought that was very weird because it's a situation of like, oh, we shouldn't have labels, but then it's more labels. It's really more labels. We just added more labels to things. You know what I'm saying? And we put more categories on things than they used to be because it used to not be as many, and now it's even more. So it's very interesting. But like I said, like you said, hey, everybody got their own home. They call them whatever they want to be called. I'm just wondering if she's identifying as a man, how is the WNBA handling that? Because then you go like, hold up, you got men in the women's game. So then that's the conundrum. Because then LeBron's career could last
it's only a
I could play for a long time.
If she went and got, there's nothing that she can do to become a full man, no matter what she does. You know what I'm saying? She can add a penis, all that stuff, but she's never going to be a man because of her innards. But hey,
like you went fishing and you was like, hold on, get them innards out that fish. Them innards. Like, whoa.
Hey, introduce my dog real quick. Get him in this conversation.
Mr. Ismail up in here. What's up, Mr. Ismail? Welcome to
yes, sir. What up?
Podcast, man. What's going on with you? I assume you may have a statement of some sort in some fashion. Or look, you on mute right now, man. You gotta turn that mic on. Make sure you're good to go. There you go.
All right, yeah,
hey, welcome. Yeah, we got you. What's going on? What's going on? So, if you heard us talking about this, the Brittany Griner situation of wanting to be called father, I don't know if you had a perspective on that at all.
Yeah. You know what? I usually will say no, but I'll make an exception now. Let me tell you why I'll make an exception.
She gets the exception.
The only exception I make for her is because she's a deadbeat dad already. That's the only exception I make. She was already a deadbeat. She should get the same protection.
You call her a deadbeat dad.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
It's a fact. It's a fact. She had quote unquote kids with that other lady, and she ain't paying no child support. So she need to.
Let's go
to jail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's wild.
So yeah, she go hold that title. She go hold it. Yeah.
She good.
All right. Well, hey, that's a different perspective, and you know what I'm saying, and I respect it. You know what I mean? So I was like, hey, I'm glad that you brought that to the table. So yeah, that's interesting. So for y'all out there, like, what do y'all think in the comments? You know, I mean, is it a situation where, hey, is everybody house? Is a house? They get called whatever they want. I just want to wonder. My whole thing is, I don't know what she's claiming as. I'm just wondering if this is an issue for the WNBA. If she's taking the job away from good, hardworking women in the league, as a man playing in a woman's sport, that's not good. You know what I mean? So I want to make sure all women get all the accolades and abilities and opportunities. You can't have men being in there taking opportunities away from good basketball playing women. That are in
she ain't no man.
I mean, I'm just, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I just want to make sure that we out here giving all good, hardworking basketball playing women the fair opportunity that they deserve. Exactly. Can't have men in their league taking a job.
Right.
Crazy. Nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So we're going to keep it pushing. We have, unfortunately, been going on for a while. The Sonia Massey murder that took place. Just came through here in the last, yesterday they had, or the day before, they released at 2 p.m. yesterday, they released the body cam footage. The deputy that ended up murdering Sonia Massey in her own home. If you're not aware of everything that took place, this was something that took place back in July, on July 6th. She made a call to the 911, feeling like there was somebody may have been in the home or anything, wanted it to be investigated. They came to her home. There was 2 deputies that entered the home. No aggression or anything based on the video. One deputy was clearing the home. The other deputy was watching Miss Massey, and she was at the oven. She was taking off some boiling water, and the deputy told her to put the water down after he had already given her the okay instructions to do so. They said they heard on the actual body cam footage that he said that he would shoot her in the face if she ain't put it down. She went to put it down, put her hands up, rang off 3 shots. She ended up getting shot in the face, and once they got to the hospital, she was declared dead. It's very unfortunate that these nonsensical situations are taking place, and this one's even worse than, I don't know if it could be worse, but we had a fellow Air Force member that got killed at his own home, just answering the door, unassuming, not sure what was going on, answer the door looking like he wanted to make sure he protected himself, didn't know it was police unloaded. Then we have this situation looking for security from the police to make sure everything was taken care of in her home, call 911, they responded, and for some reason this situation went awry. So Mr. Ismail, talk to me about, your perspective on the situation. Have you seen the body cam footage? And, is this I don't even know if I can say this would be a situation of somebody being scared or whatnot. I just felt like this was just a bad person doing a bad thing. What do you think? So
first thing I'm going to say is, to be completely transparent, I deliberately did not watch the video. I saw a clip or 2 of it, probably since Eric Garner I've done myself a favor in not watching these videos anymore.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's trauma porn, and it's a trigger for me. So, but I've heard enough about it. I've done enough of the little bit of research I have done to know that, just like Eric Garner, Tatiana Jefferson, Botham John, the young brother you just mentioned, I forget his name, Fortson, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
They were outright murdered. Okay, there's no
Mm-hmm.
ifs, ands, and buts about it. And anything outside of that, leans more towards a certain element in a certain crowd that wants to make every excuse in the world for uh, these police officers, as they're called, to commit outright murder. When, especially when the public, and when I say the public, those who are employed by the public, like coroners and district attorneys, they brought murder charges on this man already, immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Already immediately brought murder charges on this man. All right. So
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing else, quite honestly, to be said about the intent. The intent
Right.
is already clear.
First degree murder.
First degree murder. Now, some would say that, that's a bridge too far, because I learned a long time ago with the Trayvon Martin case, when you go first degree, that means you intended to do so. So
Mm-hmm.
it may be hard to bring forward. The one thing I really didn't want to touch this, to be quite honest with you, but today I got triggered, not by that, but
Mm-hmm.
by the vice president's statement and the president's statement. It really got up under my skin, something serious, because I just rattled off what 4 or 5 names, and
Mm-hmm.
there are others that have happened since then that go unnamed. But it just so happens that this happens right now, right when the quote unquote nomination, I call it a coronation, of the incoming vice president for the Democratic nomination is coming up, and we get a 2-page letter with thoughts and prayers. Not that we're going to punish, not we're going to follow this up with the Justice Department. None of that. The same Justice Department with the brother's name escapes me, from Georgia, that was murdered by those hillbillies down there, that went and tried to get a lighter sentence for them guys. A lot of people don't know that. They didn't pay attention to the case, but they went and tried to get a lighter sentence for the guys that murdered him.
Was that the ones that ran him down while he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
running through the
exactly.
new housing area?
Yeah, it'll come to me in a minute. But that same Justice Department, for the sitting president, his Justice Department went and tried to get a lighter sentence for them guys. So I don't cut for none of them, to be quite honest with you, when it comes to politics. But it does happen to play a role at this point in time. And the last point I'll make is, we have three what we would call black swan events. And that's why this probably triggered me, because there's so many significant things that have happened in the past 2-3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm not even this is indirectly talking about this young lady's murder.
Mm-hmm.
And they're using this as a backdrop for votes. This is why I say this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have the former president and now Republican Republican nominee for president. His life is almost taken an inch away, and he's probably dead. This is probably, anarchy in the streets. And then immediately after that, thank you, Ahmaud Arbery. Thank you. Immediately after that, a week after it, the sitting president drops out to run for president again. This hasn't happened since 1968.
Mm-hmm.
And for people who, may want to look into history, don't listen to me. Look at history. 1968 was a significant year where similar things happened, just like this almost.
Mm-hmm.
And the Democratic National Convention going to be where? In Chicago, the same place it was in 1968. Mm-hmm. I say that all to go back to the middle point was about, that was so infuriating, because what it's doing is playing on primarily black people's emotions, but the country's emotions. And you just, you want to put this little letter out. It probably would have been best if she would have said, both of them would have said nothing. 45 hadn't said a thing. You know what I'm saying?
I would say that's a tough one to not say anything. Like that's hard. That's a hard situation. I can understand it's no different than something happening. Hey, you're a sergeant major. Yeah, something that happened within your battalion and your commander, and it had to deal with, say, sexual assault. Y'all have a formation, and he ain't gonna say nothing. Like that's what, like it's just you. Even though it's been happening, hey, we know that in the military. Hey, even though it's been happening, you gotta say the words. I go through yearly training on things that, hey,
right.
I know that I don't touch,
right.
but we go through the training every time, and it still happens. But we still got to go through the training, and those that are in charge and leadership still have to say, hey, this is wrong. This is bad. We should not take care of our people. That's like, you got to say it still. You know what I'm saying? As an NCO, as a leader, it's hard to not say that. You know what I'm saying?
It is. And my only rebut to that is, in that situation, you don't have any power. You have no authority to do anything. So to say something in that instance, yeah, I completely agree. You have to say something, okay? Mm-hmm. However, there is almost ultimate power in that position, or the position that you're vying for, to say, I am going to do something about this, because there have been other situations, and I'm not talking along racial lines. I'm not talking along racial lines at all. Other situations around the world where you jump up immediately and say, we're going to defend this nation. We're going to defend these people, this, that, and the third. So that's the only rebut. I agree with you. You do in that situation. Yes. Because you want to reassure those that you're responsible for, which is literally what I'm saying here. If you're going to say that, don't just give thoughts and prayers. You have the power to do something.
Well, I would say you have the power, you have the ability to influence at a higher level than others. There's a certain, I know Razim was talking about it in our previous. It's like there is the checks and balances, which has kind of been, there's been a fog there with the push of trying to create more power in one section than there should be. The basis of the government should function if everybody utilizes it properly, but it's been a manipulation that's been taking place over the last 20 years to move things in the ways that they should not be moved, or so that it flows better or flows more for one than the other. And that's the thing that's made it have this perceived power that the government isn't built like that. It's supposed to have checks and balances so people don't do dumb stuff. And yes, there's powers, executive power. Hey, I can do a little thing, but guess what? It only lasts so long because it has to be okayed by Congress. It has to become a law. Then you got justice. How going to tell you if this constitutional? That's all supposed to work together. And I think we, just like Rajim talked about, we have this facade that position, yes, as of war, military, those type of things, yes, that is the leader of doing those type of things. But there is a checks and balances that have to be put in there, and we just want our leader to use that influence, like you said, to do something. And that's all. That's the part we want our leaders to use that influence to push forward and make sure, or do their best to eliminate this happening more often. Rajim, what do you think about this situation with Miss Massey and the things that's transpired these last few days?
So I will say this, and unlike you guys, I actually watched the video, and I watched it a few times. And I should be a lot smarter, like D does, and just say, "Hey, I'm not fixing to trigger myself," because it is a trigger. And if you watch the video, especially the full video, when the police officer got to the door, he was already agitated. Like you could tell from the moment he got to the door, and she answered the door, he was agitated. Um, you know, as a civilian calling the police officer saying, "Hey, I feel like somebody's around my house," you don't get there and start he automatically went to questioning her like something was wrong with her. I've been around your house, I walked around, blah, blah, blah. And she even said, she said, I love you guys. That's what makes it terrible, because before they walked in, she said, thank y'all for coming. I love you guys. And she was in good spirits the whole time they were there. And, he told her to take the water off the stove. It wasn't like she just went and did it on her own. She was complying with everything, and she went over there and got it and took it off. And and I think she said something to the effect of why y'all moved back or whatever. The audio was kind of hard to figure out on some of the stuff. And he's like, well, we don't want to get hot water on us, hot steam on us, or something like that. And she made a comment, but she was joking. She was laughing the whole time. And then something happened, and she said, I'm sorry. Like she was moving the pot or something. I don't know. And then she said, all I heard her say, he said, I'll shoot you in the face. First. He did say, I'll shoot you in the face. First of all, as a police officer, that's not something you tell a civilian, I'm finna shoot you in the face. Like you come to my house, say you about to shoot me in the face, then I'm automatically on defense too. Yeah. I gotta figure out where my piece is at, because I gotta make sure I make it out of this situation alive. But she didn't react that way, and so it was very much a situation to where I say it was premeditated. I say it was racially motivated. I say it was more of a stereotype. All that applies was there. This is a Black woman here by herself. She had stuff everywhere. She wasn't, like I said, because even first thing he asked her was, why take so long to come to the door? She's like, I had to put, and she respectfully said, I had to put clothes on, sir. That's what she said. I had to put clothes on, sir. And then she said, thank y'all for coming. I love you guys. You know what I'm saying? So the whole situation is this, and it does, as a protector of my woman, of my family, as a Black man who has lived his life to feel like he's always angry or always on the defense. So we live our life as Black men. We're always on the defense in a sense of, and I know that you guys, and we've all been NCOs in the military. But you've been in a situation to where you feel like you have to say things a certain way so it's not misconstrued. Because first of all, it's coming from a Black man. I'm angry anyway. I'm automatically angry because I'm saying something, or because I'm defending myself, or whatever. Well, calm down. How many times as a Black man you've been told to calm down? Even when you're not calmed up, you just calm down. Yeah, that's the word, calmed up. So, when you are defending yourself, like y'all know me, this man might not know me. I've been in situations where I had to let somebody know, first of all, I'm very educated, so don't come at me sideways. I had somebody talk to me about something. They had a whole conversation. It was just like I was just like, okay, I'm listening. And then I had to explain, like, you do know I have 3 college degrees. I have 5 certifications that top anything you might have in your repertoire. I said, my resume is impeccable. I said, so by you talking to me this way, automatically, because I'm a Black man, you feel like I'm going to get offended, I'm going to be on the blah, blah, blah. We live our life like this. So as a man that is built and designed to protect, this particular video, watching this video, it does make me angry. It gives me an emotion that I don't like to feel. Like I listen to her father. I listen to Ben Crump and her father. Okay. In an interview, and her father, he said what I would have said. You messed with the wrong Black woman. Like real talk. Like he was like, this is not going away. This is not going away. It's not going to be swept under the rug. I'm gonna fight to the end. And she called the police. Well, still, it's one of the things that I get it, but at the same time, you are here to serve and protect. It don't matter why. It's not like I was hiding drugs. I called you. Why would I call you if I had something to hide? I called you to my house.
Bingo.
So you automatically assuming that because I took a little longer to come to the door. I mean, we don't know if it was 2 minutes or 5 minutes. You know, it could have just been not fast enough for him.
Right.
You know, but the bottom line is, as a protector, I can guarantee you, you know, this is premeditated, and you know, it's one of the situations where he already had an issue with black people.
Absolutely.
Mm.
You know, whatever your issue is, I'm not. You can come to my house right now, you know, and you're not gonna get the typical black man, or you're not gonna get the typical angry black man. No, you're gonna come to my house and I have a conversation with you, whatever, you know, blah blah blah. But what I'm not gonna do is give you the power to take my life or put me in prison or take the life of my family. You know, so there's ways to handle things. And I just feel like I fully say it was premeditated. I feel like he came there like from the time he got to the door, he had an attitude, you know,
Yeah.
and he had when she went to the stove, he had already put his hand on his pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Like you telling me, and that lady didn't weigh that much. That lady was probably about 140 pounds. So
Yeah.
you telling me you was threatened? She was in a nightgown. She didn't have another way to put no pistol, no gun, or nothing. You know, what was you threatened by to make you shoot this lady in the face, like
Right.
you said you was gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I feel like this. We got to do better, man. We got to do better, and not us as a culture, but I'm saying
Right.
society has to do better. You know,
Yeah.
we have to do better in the people we hire to protect. You know, that's going to be an impossible mission. You know, I remember, and I don't know if you remember D. You might not, you might remember Hayes, but I remember, and I get off this soapbox, but I remember going to work for KBR, Kellogg Brown and Root, and before you go down range to Iraq, you go through a mental process, and they
Right.
sit you down and they ask you a series of questions, and depending on how you answer these questions, it depends on if you have a job or not. Some
Mhm.
people came there, quit their job back at home because these jobs were paying like 140,000 a year. So they quit their jobs, come there, and they couldn't even pass a mental eval. You
Right.
know, so if a company, if a government contractor, government organization can do mental evals on just regular personnel that's just going down range to do
Right.
whatever, you know what I'm saying? There has to be a more vetted process on hiring people of power.
That
Period.
is true.
You
That is
know, I'll say this the last thing I'm gonna say. Indeed, both of y'all, I'll say this, but I said it to the Hayes already. How can you have hold a position of power, the president? How can you have a top secret clearance and you got felonies?
Not supposed to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's
Absolutely.
Exactly.
simple. It's
Yeah.
simple. It's simple. That's why I don't cut for neither one of them. You know, because to be quite honest with you, to that point, that last point that you mentioned, Rob, if that man can still run, he's already garnered the nomination. Then every person, and I speak for my people and myself, even though this doesn't directly apply to me. I've never been a criminal. I'm not a criminal. I have degrees myself. You know what I'm saying? So I feel exactly like you do, Rob. But if that dude can run, gain the nomination, okay, and be a convicted felon, okay, he's a convicted felon. All right, whatever punishment they're gonna dole out on him is what they're gonna dole out on him. Then every person that has ever been a convicted felon should have their voting rights restored yesterday.
Exactly.
Yesterday,
For
okay.
sure. For
No
sure.
different than the marijuana laws. When they changed all the marijuana laws, everybody that got a marijuana law should have got out of prison immediately.
Yeah.
They might not have got no restitution or whatever, but they should have just
Right.
been let go home immediately.
Mhm.
So one thing you mentioned, right, and now you made me interested to see what her father has said, because it's one thing for sure and two things for certain. Okay, Rod known me all my adult life and some my teenage life. One thing's for sure, I protect and love my family and my loved ones with my own life. Okay, so if that's what he said, then he said exactly how I would have felt. But first of all, I wouldn't have been in front of no camera. That's just me. I wouldn't have been in front of no camera, because if that person is still walking around and alive, and I'm not advocating violence. I am talking about justice. Justice would have been served. He would have went to the jail hell or the hospital, one or the other. That joker would have found it. Okay.
And that's the one question that Kalisha was asking. What does justice look like from here to you guys? And you've already explained what your justice would have looked like in this situation.
Well,
and Rajim, I mean, but the thing is that with that, so does that make with going in that way, does that end up hurting more people?
No.
Or less people?
No, because it happens almost daily. And what the media power structure has done is convince us that, you know, we're the bigger threat. For Rajim to even have to sit here and say that he has degrees, and for people
not in that realm. I'm talking about in your direction of justice.
Oh no,
like you were talking about in your direction of justice.
I'm following you.
Does that support and does that bring more comfort to your family?
No, it's not.
If you're in that situation, they can go justice and then just come visit you.
No,
or like what is that? You know what I'm saying? How is that the better choice?
Well, it is justice because I'm not gonna get super biblical, but even God got angry in the Bible, and he caused floods and all kinds of other stuff. So when there is no justice that's been served, a lot of people take it into their own hands because there isn't any justice. It happens all the time. It just goes underreported. All right. It happens all the time. It goes underreported. And I will tell you that for me, okay, and mine, and I say mine because the men in my family feel the same way. When those things happen, if those things were to happen, God forbid they never happen, knock on wood, that's the chance that we take. That's what we live our lives for. And see, I'm unlike several other people that have served. There are some that have served that feel this way. That's what I served for. I didn't serve for I served for the country. I served for them. Okay. I know them. I serve for my family, for my loved ones. If a second and third order effect is for the country, okay, great. Then that's wonderful. Great, wonderful. I'm not going to disparage this country at all because we built it. The point I was making is the fact that Rajim even has to mention that, I have to mention that, or we have to lead with that because someone is feeling that you're angry. It tells you about the condition of this country, and it ain't just this country, it's worldwide, about Black folks. That's just the bottom line up front. When there are other people that are accosted, they go directly to compensation and justice. And I cannot remember this dude's name. He's a Somalian police officer up there in Minnesota. They killed the white woman. He got 12 years. He's still in prison today. Okay. He didn't shoot her in the face. Okay. So if this joker don't get, and to answer that lady's question, I think that was a lady, I have my glasses on, directly, justice through the justice system is the death penalty. And I believe that state doesn't carry the death penalty. So if that's the case, then life without no possibility of parole ever. Mm-hmm. So that would be justice. If not, street justice needs to have its day. Because if you're the protector of your family, then what do you, if you can't protect your family, then what are you here for? You're not a protector then. You're going to let that just roll off like it's nothing? I promise you, one or the other happen, and that's what I would lay my life on the line for. Whatever happens, happen.
All right, Rajin, what do you look at as justice?
I mean, I feel the same way. I feel, the easy way out would be the death penalty. And I've always said before, man, it's honestly, I feel like if you're on a death row for a legit crime, why are we spending years and money, taxpayer dollars for years to take care of somebody you about to kill anyway? Like, I don't understand the concept. And it's just my opinion. I know a lot of people don't share the same opinion, but I'm like, if you're on death row, like we can do 10 this week. I don't understand why it takes so long to, like, this should be the Wild Wild West. Line them up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got 10 people that got to go this week. Got to go. You know what I'm saying? But that's not how our quote unquote justice system works. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like D and I from the same place, right? We our lives has gone down the same path. Um, our parents know each other. It's we grew up together, and we grew up with the same principles and same understanding now. And I feel exactly the way he feels. You know what I'm saying? If street justice is the way, you know what I'm saying, then and that goes from mine, from mine. I'll die for mine. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when I fought, when I went to Iraq, Afghanistan, all these places, it was for, mine. And but people don't respect you as a soldier per se when you come. Like you said, I mean, even back in the day, they didn't respect the soldiers when they came back. They quick to say, "I'm proud to be an American." They quick to say, support this and support the veterans and blah blah blah. I got to pull teeth to get, you know, even a rating from the VA to be able to, what I'm saying, take care of the stuff that happened to me being overseas.
Right.
But we always got, I'm proud to be an American, blah, 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 whatever. I just feel like I said, the route to justice is life behind bars, and not no easy life behind bars. I'm talking about 23-hour lockdown. I'm talking about life behind bars till you can think for the rest of your life how you said to yourself, I'm about to shoot you in the face.
Yeah.
Not shoot to disable or shoot to whatever. Or, and like I said, I don't want to take too much time, but I remember when you watch stuff like Cops Reloaded and PD Live PD, so many people in front of the camera get shot with non-lethal ammunition, beanbags, taser. They could have tased that lady if that's the case. If they felt like she was doing something that was so unorthodox, where they felt like their life was in danger, they could have tased that 140-pound lady. She would have lived. They would have talked about it. Truth would have came out. But when you say that to yourself, when you say to this lady, I'm about to shoot you in the face, and then shoot her in the face,
Indeed.
that's premeditated. You need to spend the rest of your life 23 hours like down in a rat infested cell with Big Willie or whoever. That's how I feel about it.
Right.
That's justice.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. All
Absolutely.
right. Well, yeah, that was a situation is just it's incomprehensible to see something in that aspect. I mean, I feel like this is even like I like some of the other ones was you got situations that you're like, man, that was maybe the wrong choice, maybe and it escalated in some form of fashion. The one with the Air Force member was like crazy. The one where he's running through the neighborhood, those dudes were just on a witch hunt trying to find somebody. It was like, these are wild situations, and I feel like this one is even more blatant of I've called to get protected.
It's worse.
It's like I called to get protected, and hey, we're doing the protection situation, and I just need your support, and it's a gun down situation. It's just kind of crazy the way all that took place.
It makes you scared to call the police.
Yeah.
It gives me PTSD to call. If I need police in my house, I already got police in my house already in my closet. You good?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a point I was going to make as well. And I've been on that. Oh man, probably since Trayvon Martin, because that was a trigger moment for me. And I would tell you why, because my son resembles him to a degree, and he's about the same age, if I remember correctly. My oldest. So that was a watershed moment, I'll honestly say, in my life. And I'll even say this to this day. I pray to God that I never walk past George Zimmerman, because I couldn't just walk past this cat and let him just keep moving like everything is all good. I just couldn't do it. Now that didn't directly affect me, like I knew Trayvon Martin or Tracy Martin or his mama or nothing like that. But that was that was one of the tipping point moments for me to push me back and say, wait a minute, hold on. And to watch the whole thing and go through it almost like the OJ trial. And then you see what happens. And everything that happened after that, that was really a watershed moment for this country, to be quite honest with you. When you look at what happened after, that was 2012. And you look at everything that happened after that, you know, from George Floyd to you name it, all of those things. I understand your point, Hazens, when you're saying that this is so blatant. It is. And it's so blatant because there's nothing being done. And I'll land with two more things on this.
Nothing. I feel like I was just sorry to interrupt, but
no, good.
Nothing, because I would say this situation,
mm-hmm.
due to some of the previous situations as of body cams.
That
is one thing that wasn't there before.
So
this would be for sure gotten away with because those became a mandatory thing.
They did.
The quickness of first degree murder. You're on trial. That has changed. Like, I can't say that there has not been any movement. Yes, it's not as fast as always. And maybe y'all can look at me like, hey, I'm the optimist, but I'm trying. I always look at it like, yes, this is a horrible situation. But if you take this situation and go back 10 years where there's no video, there's no, you know what I'm saying? All that other stuff is not there. Do we know, is things planted? Is this just, hey, that was a bad person. It's written in a book saying, oh, this person was a drug dealer. We found drugs in the back. And then she tried to throw a pot of water. Like, the story changes none of that stuff from the time frame of, like you said, Trayvon Martin and things like that, and all those implementations have started being put in and mandatory, even though you got people fighting against it, but they've been mandatory. We found more people that were bad people that were acting like cops compared to those that are good people being good cops. I got friends that are police officers that they doing their job. Yes, this is bad. It makes them look bad. It makes you have those feelings. It makes Rasheem have those feelings.
Absolutely.
But I got bros that got to do this, and they're making sure they trying to do the right thing. And it's one of those where it's like, I can't ignore. It may be incremental, but there has been things put in place that made this, even though a bad person playing cop did a horrible thing, it made it where saw the video, instant first degree murder. That was in a 10-day time period where they did all that stuff and that dude's going to be on trial. Like, that wasn't happening before.
True indeed. And I'll reference Malcolm X's quote, and I'm going to butcher it a bit. You know, if you stick a knife in my back and you pull it out 3 inches, that's not progress. To your point, I understand your point, but that's the same point. And the only reason that progress was made, in my opinion, and from everything that I've looked at, is based off of the people getting in the streets after George Floyd. When after that happened, the people were burning up these cities and causing so much ruckus. No different than in the 60s. The only reason that legislation came through for civil rights wasn't because we voted. Okay, that wasn't because we got out and voted. No, it's because Black folks was about to tear this country apart because of what happened after Dr. King and everything after that. So that's one of the other points. To your other point also, and it just so happened you touched on it about knowing some folks that's in law enforcement. I know some as well, and I'll tell them you're in a dirty business. You're in a dirtier business than I've ever been in serving as a soldier. Okay, because you're against your own people to a degree, because that's what you're going to be looked upon as. I got nothing but love for you. However, that's a hard jacket to wear, and I tell you why. I always bring something back to you other than just throwing something out there. The murderer who murdered Tamir Rice is now employed in the West Virginia Police Department. There's video evidence from there. Within seconds, he murdered that 12-year-old boy. Within seconds, he murdered him. And he's still working right now today. So it's corrupt from the top to the bottom. And even those that I know in law enforcement, I've told them this. Even people I know that's in political office. It's all racist. It's all rotten to the entire core. It's rotten to the core. So there's nothing else you could do, but turn it upside down and start all over again. And one of the reasons me and Rod talk like this and we have come up together. I'm gonna say something. He probably, I know he remembered, but he ain't gonna probably want me to say. When we was in high school, we just minding our own business, walking from seeing some girls, and what happened? We thought we was about to be lynched. I'm not making that up. That's not for shock effect, y'all. That's a real thing. Some hillbillies, almost in an Ahmaud Arbery type situation, and we ran for our lives. Okay, it was literally like you saw on that video. One on the back of the truck and two of them in the truck, and they turned that thing around and spun it around, and we was gone for no reason. Walking to his house in the middle of the night. So we got different feelings about this, and when you look at certain stuff like this, I don't make no excuses for nobody like that. I just don't. I can't in anything that they're a part of, because there's justice that's been served, whether it's through the judicial system, the police department, our legal process, for less. We just talked about marijuana laws. People doing 25 years for marijuana, man. Come on.
Yeah, that's craziness.
Yep, that's wild. That's wild. Well, go ahead.
No, I was saying, we gotta get the next segment because we're gonna stay on Sonya all night. I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, I'm saying we want to make sure that we touch base with it. You want to make sure that everybody's getting their opinions out, and you're trying to look at fixing or progress or whatever to, of course, eliminate the situation. And the problem is that trying to eliminate the situation, then you have to make perfect human beings, and that's also a problem, because then hey, just like the church teaches us, what I'm saying, everyone's a sinner, so it's like it's all on what you're sinning on, you know what I mean? And it's unfortunate that that's a fact. Everybody has their issues, that go on. So it just sucks that some of those people's issues affect other people, and it can cause turmoil, trials, and tribulations for those around them. One last thing that we got right here, man, that was a situation that I found. I call it AI reunions, and there was a interesting video that I saw. I was going to share the screen. May not have any sound with it, but it was a situation where you had a mother, looked like she was of Asian descent, but she had lost her daughter when she was very young. And now you have people that are rebuilding the AI, their children or loved ones that they had lost. And then they're putting them in virtual reality to be able to talk, speak with their family members, and things of that nature. The video is very dramatic for the mother. She's kind of seeing the transition of her child. And I wanted to ask you guys, like, Rajim, like, if that was a situation, that you could experience, where it's like, okay, God forbid, one of your children pass, whatever, and being able to see them in a digital form, would that be something that you would attempt?
First of all, you can't do that with black people, because I'm gonna tell you, the first thing they're gonna do is, hey, you owe me some money. You owe me 35. Hey, what's the code to the safe in grandma's room? But honestly though, man, I don't know. I don't, because the fact that it's not real. Right. Like I said, it's virtual. I could see. No, I mean, that's no different. Like
that's like the hologram with Tupac.
Well,
you know what I'm saying, where it was like people were like, "Oh, that's dope. He doing whatever that and they put that together." But I'm just saying, like, that's a similar. It would just be more.
I know what it is. I know what it is. What I'm saying is like, you can't, if there's emotions involved in that. Mm-hmm. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? Then you latch on to something that's really not there. They're really not real. I can see it for mothers who lost like mothers and fathers who lost a child,
Yeah.
like all of a sudden,
Yeah.
like, in a car crash, and they were, had to be closed casket, and they just wanted the closure of saying, I love you, blah, 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 you know, um, but it's still not real, and do we, and something D said earlier, I'm not gonna get too deep and religion about it, but what is that considered a false idol? Are you pretty much addressing,
Mm.
because it's not real, and it's being generated through a code, you know what I'm saying? Um, and it's can you, as a human being, get now let me not say that, because there are some virtual porn that these guys get involved with, and they get really involved in these porn chicks
Yeah.
like they know them.
Yeah.
So so
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't technically
I mean, the next thing would be the
can't say that.
robot kids. I mean, you can just because they're coming out with those robots and they got the facial movements, and then
I
if
don't
you
want no
can
robot kids.
AI,
I don't want the kids I got. I
hey,
want no damn
well,
robot
hey
kids.
man, I'm just saying.
Now I gotta pay child support on robot kids too.
Yeah,
This
for
is
real.
Well, you gotta learn to make it work, though. You can't make it work with the robot kids.
I'm good. I'm good.
You
Wow.
can program it like
That's
that.
wild. That's wild.
So, Mr. Ismail, like, what do you think about this technology, and like, would there be an instance that you would ever use it?
Me personally, no. Not like no reunion like that, but a little bit akin to Rod's point. I see where it could be beneficial for somebody, because you got some people going through some serious, post-traumatic stress disorder, to where they need to kind of, unlock something or break away, for people like in a mental institution or something like that. But, just to say, man, I miss my dog Butch. Let me put this helmet on and let me go pet Butch, and you just over here rubbing on the shadow. Nah, dog. Nah.
So you saying you ain't gonna get to, like, if you got the pet, you ain't stuffing the pet and just keeping
Nah.
that in the laundry room and pull it out every once in a while? Like,
The
hey,
only way I'm doing that is if I'm reenacting that episode from Martin. That's it. That's the only way I'm
oh,
doing
come on now. You gonna sick him on him?
it.
Like, don't get him. Don't get him.
Yeah, for
Nah,
real.
Which
but
was one of the funniest
yes,
episodes ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sit your $5 ass down.
Yeah. Seriously.
yeah. I mean, that's I feel like the technology is. I feel like, I don't know, like traumatic situations. I feel like it could be
Right.
I don't know. People have to be in the right mind space, because you can, like you said, if you Rajim talked about it. Hey, you got people that are in these virtual worlds that are getting attached.
Yeah.
So knowing that you can keep going back to that world, then that person, if they're not able to let go, because that would be the situation. You're trying to go there, then to let go. That makes it where I can turn this on all the time and be there again. Which then that has them, if they're in that dramatic situation, I want to just stay in this.
But aren't we doing that now?
So, but that's what I'm saying. Like, people are doing it now, and it's not even dramatic.
Well, no, I mean like the internet, social media.
Yeah, people
We're
are
doing
doing
that
that
now.
now. But that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. This becomes, because you're doing it with things that, with people that you are fabricating these feelings, right? I don't really have feelings with these people. I'm just like, oh, I talked to this person. Man, I miss talking to this person. Now you're doing it with a person you literally love. You had an emotional attachment, and then you're going, and I can turn this on and not leave this place and stay in this place and revisit this place all the time, which may not be the most positive situation, right? Only thing that yeah, so the only thing that I think, like, that it would be, I would say would be interesting to use it, would be like if you had family members from the past that had memoirs, and you could have them tell you the story. Like, I feel like that would be cool. Like, if my great grandmother that I didn't really meet, and I don't, that's my lineage, but I don't
like
have a really, like a Superman. Hey, Kal-El hit you up, and you like, you can tell me things, and you're giving me the background of the family, and you're like, that would be cool to be able to have a recreation of like, okay, that's what grandpa looked like or great grandpa looked like. And then they're able to tell you these stories via a memoir that's been uploaded. And you're like, oh, this is cool. And that would be very cool for lineage of family to be able to go like, oh, this was your great great grandfather. And you could have your child be able to have that interaction with that character. I think that would be cool, like as of a lineage thing. But I feel like it'd be super traumatic. You know, I mean, I just think about myself. I feel like it'd be super traumatic because then your happy memories that you had of that person, I feel like get pushed back because then you're looking for the right now all the time of this AI person instead of being able to go like, oh man, I remember when we and can bring a smile to your face. You know, that's the things, you know, when you're ever at a funeral and you have the reception afterwards. If that's a good person and you have it, guess what everybody's usually doing? After a few hours, people are telling stories that are funny.
True indeed.
That they enjoyed of that person, and that's how you're going forward in remembering that person.
So
you know what I'm
gonna tell you where
just my perspective. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Eventually they're gonna have to where they're gonna be able to record, like, let's say a certain amount of memory after you die. Let's just say you get shot. And it's, you know, so you see yourself get shot, you know who killed you or whatever, and your brain continues to work for
this is a
10 minutes.
You're talking about Minority Report.
Minority
No,
Report.
like but then I'm saying, but we're getting to that point.
We're
you know
there.
what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? So now
I know who killed you.
The police can be like, well, who killed you? This?
Right.
No, they're going down. Now you got to worry about them deleting the file. You be like, oh, they deleted the file. Gotta wait.
Who's going to delete the file?
Pre-call.
Yep, that's when then you have the pre-call, and then they be like, oh, Rajim, you was going to kill this dude.
Right.
So now we going to arrest you now, and now you opened up a
That's
whole
why, that's why I'm cybersecurity, so I stay on top of it.
So you can delete it?
now your brain got a virus, literally.
But for real though, think about it. We're living in it already. The only difference is it's not connected to somebody from the past. Because that's why I'm real weary on social media, man. Because there are people that take on these whole different personas, and they get, engulfed with these personalities of themselves or other people that are quote unquote celebrities and all that type of stuff. You know, if your name is, Mr. World Star 69, but you flipping fries at Arby's. Yeah. You can have 100,000 people following you because you acting a fool,
I feel like that person would be flipping fries. He could just that name in general. Exactly. I'd be like, he's probably flipping fries. Like I wouldn't be like, oh, that dude was doing big things.
But these dudes give up all this money to virtual females. Like, you know what I'm saying? There was a guy that took his family's whole life savings and gave it to some virtual chick. She wasn't even like it turned out to be a dude.
Yeah.
That was taking all this dude's money.
That's
I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
He probably just had AI talking to him. He was like, he put a bot on that joint and was like, hey, just answer these goofy questions.
Exactly. It's hard to know who real now because everything's AI. You be like, I don't know if that's that person or not.
See, that's where reality is. It has escaped us because the time when we come up, you had to put in some work and go out and meet the lady or whatever.
You had to have game. You know,
you
had to have some game.
You have a little bit of game, just a little bit,
tiny bit.
Yeah, we helped write the book, but now they don't even use the book no more. It's like, man, I know I at least wrote 3 chapters in the game. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to bring that up. Don't bring that up.
That's something totally different there.
Ride around in a Mustang. I remember a blue Mustang riding around.
I wrote the game. I will tell you.
You don't bring that up.
Yeah. A lot of catfishing, Nigerian scams, and all this.
Hey, me collecting and Damien used to ride around Pensacola in the bug.
Oh, look here, for sure.
The Volkswagen Bug. You think it's a game?
Y'all was in the book. All
Yeah,
right.
Classic.
good.
Ref, he had,
Hey,
Ref, he had the post.
Did y'all throw some rims on it like y'all was from Compton?
Yep.
Yeah, girls up there like, can you drive stick?
Why you playing?
Yeah, it had rims on it.
Why
Had
you
a booming system.
It did for real.
Yeah. That's it. Hey, that bug from that bug from Boys in the Hood was legit. That was the jam, dog. That joint was
Been the
dope.
same color. Now that I think about
Yeah,
it,
the blue joint.
straight up,
Hey, y'all did it.
Yeah.
straight up.
Okay. I see your boy on here. They had rims and 212s. Where you put 212s in a V bug?
If Prince say he was coming to get you, you heard him a block away.
Sure
Here he come.
For sure.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Well, you know what I'm saying? That's some interesting technology that's out there. And I mean, we'll see how they end up using it. And those that are out there, also my perspective on what I think, and the gentleman here put on their perspective of what could pop off and if you would ever use it. Last but not least, we always got to have some Black excellence. And this is just telling you how far this human being has come in life. Snoop Dogg is going to be passing the torch for the daggum Olympics. That is nuts. If you, he going to see walk the daggone torch to the next participant. And I'm confused. It's wild to think where Snoop Dogg came from. He literally has and was on. Murder was a case that they gave me.
Right.
And now he is passing the torch
with
to
so much
somebody
drama
else
in the
from
LBC.
from the daggone Olympics. That is wild.
That's
like
wild.
if you want to talk about American Dream story?
That's wild.
That's American Dream story. Like I don't think it could happen anywhere else.
No,
it can't happen anywhere else. Like that is American Dream story that you got somebody that had a song while he was literally on trial, but murder was the case.
Yep.
And now he is, some 20, 30 odd years later, he is now going to be passing the Olympic torch in preparation for the Olympics for the wonderful lighting.
And they should come out to They're Not Like Us.
That's the theme song for the U.S. basketball team. I mean, if they play, hey, look, I would tell you right now, if they play Canada and they beat them, they gonna play it. They gonna play it. Look, and the problem is they're gonna be in Paris, and the people in Paris will probably play it just because that's a thing. It won't be like the U.S. would dictate it. I'm pretty sure they will be like, oh shoot, U.S. versus Canada. Oh, I'm putting it ready to go. As soon as it's over, they be like, I see dead people. they be like, oh, they going at it. Like it's gonna be, they just gonna be like that. But congratulations, man, the big Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg, Snoop D-O-double-G.
Absolutely.
What's my name? He doing his daggone thing. Once again, Black excellence, Snoop Dogg. Congratulations, man. That is an amazing ride that you have been on roller coaster to get to that point. And like always, we got to make sure those people that are out there, if you're going through trials and tribulations, man, we got to make sure that you are touching base with your friends and family. If they're not there for you, trying to find somebody that's around for you. Only way that you can fix the issue, fix the problems while you're here. So make sure that you touch that National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-TALK, 800-273-8255. Like I said, those are veterans out there going through PTSD and feeling like you're not going to be able to get out of it, or you just went through drama in your life and it was nerve-wracking and you feel like there's no way out. There's always a way. There's a way to navigate those things, and we want to make sure that you get those ways and find a way out of the situation that you're in. So make sure you touch that National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-TALK, 800-273-8255. Hey guys, it's been another one, man. I really appreciate Mr. Ismail coming through, dropping some knowledge.
Sure.
Giving your perspective on the situations and everything that's going on in America and the world at this time. Rajim, as the co-host, I salute you. Doing big things, man. I hope that your week gets better, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many more bourbon days you about to have. That's especially when you like, I don't like bourbon at all, but I'm throwing a glass together. That's a tough week, man. So I hope it gets better for you. You know what I'm saying? That you can do your daggone thing and keep it rolling. Those that are out there, make sure that y'all click, y'all subscribe. You make sure y'all hit us on all our platforms at Mint Ketchup. Share that stuff and make sure you rate us. If you give us 4 stars, you a straight buster. We need 5. We need 5 on it. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate y'all. Mint Ketchup Podcast, like we always do. We here for y'all. We'll be back next week. Mint Ketchup Podcast, episode 92. We'll check y'all next week, and we out.
Hey.